Hey everybody, my name is Robert People of robertpeople.com, and you are listening to People's Court. Thank you for joining me. You can also follow me over on Twitter and Instagram at People's Court 79. That is People's Court 79 over at Twitter and Instagram. I'm here to talk to you a little bit today about voting and how important it is that each of us, every last one of us, get out there and vote. Now, as you know, the midterm elections are right around the corner, November 6th, this year, 2018. And the biggest hurdle a lot of us have to try to get over is, does my vote count? Does my one vote make a difference? I struggled with that for a lot of years myself. Anytime elections come up, I always wondered the same thing. Does my vote really matter? Well, I'm going to tell you just like this, it matters this year more than any other time, and let me tell you why. Because we need change in the White House. It's that simple. Donald Trump does not deserve to be there. He's unfit. He needs to go. Just like that. Now, the part that perplexed me, and this is before he even took office, is that I believe this was during a rally in Iowa, a campaign rally in Iowa, early 2016. And he made the comment to the effect, I'm not quoting him exactly, but to the effect, I have such loyal followers, I have such a loyal base that I can shoot someone on Fifth Avenue and I won't lose voters. Now, I cannot imagine how that could be okay with anybody, okay? I cannot imagine how anyone can support someone who tells them pretty much right to their faces that I can do whatever I want and you're still going to back me up. That's not winning against Democrats. That's not beating everybody else. He's talking to you, those of you who support Trump. He's talking right to you. I can do whatever I want. There's no line that exists for you that would make you think twice about backing me. And right now, we're seeing in 2018, a lot of folks have proven that to be true. But do we need someone in the White House who's going to sit here and say, I will still have supporters even if I went out there and shot somebody on a major New York City?
Fifth Avenue.
Mm-hmm. A major street, okay? And that's the way he gets his point across. Now, Democrats have said, they've made it clear, if they take the House this November, they are most definitely going to begin proceedings to impeach him. And very well so. And that's why it's important for all of us to get out, because they need our help. They need us to back them up and get him out of there. And that's all there is to it, okay? Aside from this whole shooting someone on Fifth Avenue, because there's always somebody who's going to say, oh, he was just joking, oh, he was just talking casually, he was tongue-in-cheek. You can make all the excuses you want to make, but why does that come to your mind first? I don't know if I want to support anybody who's going to come out of his mouth and say, yep, you're still going to back me even if I shoot someone, okay? Now, on top of all that, he makes it obvious that he does not care. So many times over the years altogether, but especially during his time in office, he makes it obvious that he just does not care. Mainly about people of color and Democrats, okay? Democrats, yes, we know that comes with political territory, but people of color and women, he's very, I don't know how that's unclear to anybody. As far as speaking about Mexicans coming over the border and this wall that we're still waiting on, and he said he was going to have done, and we still haven't seen anything about it yet. Rapists, criminals, that's what he calls them, okay? Now, while we're talking about all this evidence, okay, we'll get to Dr. Ford and Judge Kavanaugh in a second, but while we're talking about all this evidence, how much evidence does he have that every Mexican coming across the border is a rapist, is a criminal, is a human trafficker? Where's the evidence? We're looking for evidence, right? We want evidence for every word that comes out of Dr. Ford's mouth. So where's all the evidence here? But no, we jump on board and we go along with all this stuff, okay? He makes it obvious he doesn't care. As far as Judge Kavanaugh, his Supreme Court nominee, his pick, he's supposed to take a neutral stance. He's supposed to take a neutral stance on whether or not, and of course that's his pick, so he's going to kind of lean more toward him, but he's supposed to take a neutral stance. Nobody asked him what he thinks as far as who's telling the truth or not. Of course he's going to back Kavanaugh no matter what it is, okay? But then let's take it a step further, okay? Because at one point he said that Dr. Ford was a credible source. So for one, I'm wondering why that changed and why all of a sudden is Kavanaugh the more credible of the two. But again, neutral stance. He doesn't have a say in what goes on here. Okay? But on top of this, for him to come out and say, for him and Donald Jr. to come out here and say it's a scary time for young men in this country. And naturally I said, you know, we always talk about females being sexually assaulted, but you know what? It happens to males too. It happens to young men as well, and boys. So if that's where they were going, okay, you know, yeah, that's fair, right? But no, they're talking about false accusations. We're so sure that Kavanaugh has all these false accusations, that, you know, that this accusation is completely false and Kavanaugh is totally innocent of all this. That's where we are. The president of the United States is saying it's a scary time for young men. The heck with women, the heck with young girls, the heck with our daughters, but for young men because they might get accused of sexual assault. Now, I don't need to dig up statistics. Anybody with a half a brain knows that statistically, women are far more likely, or we can say women are far more likely to be sexually assaulted than young boys are of being accused. So why does that even come out? Because we're so dead set on making sure Kavanaugh has all the support to back him up that we're turning on our young girls is what we're doing. Okay? That's not somebody we need representing America in the White House. And to my Puerto Rican friends, okay, do we need to go, let us go to how he responded to Hurricane Maria, okay? Now, if there's corruption going on in Puerto Rico, understood, got it, corruption's everywhere. We in the mainland are the last ones who can talk about corruption. So, got it, understood, I'm not denying any of that stuff. But he comes there, the president, and throws paper towels. Now, what in the world is paper towels supposed to do? What is that supposed to do? Of all the photo ops he could have gotten, why is that the one why does he go with that? And of course, the only picture I have in my mind, okay, and I'm but one person, but the picture I have in my mind is a whole bunch of people with their hands up, and him thinking he's this master of some kind, and everybody's just fighting to grab the last scraps of whatever. And he's throwing, so of course they're going to look at him like he's some type of guy. That's what I see. That's the image in my head about that. Of all the things we can see him doing, that's what he feels is important here. Not to mention, let's look at this death toll. That's nearly 3,000 as of today. Now, it's bad enough that he said after he left, the death toll was this. But now we're sitting at nearly 3,000. Now, it was, I want to say 64. Okay, that was the official death toll. This was a few days, I believe, after it happened. And now it's near 3,000. And what does he come out and say? Not that the numbers might be inaccurate. Not let's check this out to be sure. It's no, the Democrats made this number up to make me look bad. That's where we are with this. That's where we are with him. Our president, who's sitting in the White House now, he's talking about, he's worried about being made to look bad. Now, I can understand if he might not believe, the numbers that I put out there. I got that. But that's where his focus is. I know people personally who have lost loved ones. I know people personally who still can't find certain loved ones. Certain loved ones, because of the effects of this. Okay? But this is what he thinks. This is how he responds. I will be perfectly okay with him saying something like, well, let's double check. Let's make sure. Let's see. Not just, oh, wow, they're trying to mess with me. That's the response. That's what he feels like about people dying. That's what his reaction is. Not to mention, do we really need to tell somebody where he's sitting? Do we need to tell a grown adult that everybody's not going to, from something like this, everybody doesn't die the first couple days? There are some lingering effects, and the death toll is going to go up. Okay. So this is what we had. This is who's in the White House now. Okay, that's just a couple things. I'm sure some of you listening can probably think of a whole lot more, but that's just a few things. Those are just a few reasons he needs to be out of that White House. We need to get him out of there. Get out there and vote, please. Get out there and vote. Okay, because your life depends on it. Your kids' life depends on it. Your grandchildren, the history, the fate of the entire country depends on it. Okay, and a lot of you, a lot of my Puerto Rican friends, you all have come here to the mainland. Get out there and vote. We got your back. We'll make sure you find exactly where you need to go. Speaking of which, let me make sure I put this out as well. Make sure you register. Go tonight. Go tonight. First thing tomorrow, do it as soon as you possibly can. Go online, register to vote. You don't have to get up, leave your house, do anything. Register to vote online. Go to vote.gov. Okay, and that's everything is self-explanatory as far as registering to vote. Vote.gov. That's what you want to. That's what you want to do to make sure you are registered to vote. Also, double check if you are registered to vote. Double check because a few people have come back. We have early voting coming up in the next few weeks, and a few people have checked and found out that despite having their voter registration card and also being registered to vote, obviously. Once they checked, they were somehow taken out of the system. Double check all the way up until the last day if you need to. But we got to make sure we get out here and do this. Okay. Now, I know if that hasn't convinced you, I know it's still a lot of people, a lot of you out there who are going to say, well, you know what? Yeah, that sounds good, but my vote is really not going to make a difference. I don't blame you. I understand. I understand how after, despite all this, you might still feel that your vote doesn't make a difference. So let me give it to you this way. If you've ever been to a sporting event, okay, 10,000 fans in the stands, okay, one person starts to clap, right? Let's say one person starts to clap and cheer. Now, aside from the people immediately around them, the entire stadium is not going to hear that person clapping, okay? And of course, yeah, in that case, that's with one person. But we know what it sounds like when the entire stadium is cheering, is clapping? How beautiful is that sound? And the only real difference is it's just a collection of one person. There's just one person. Everybody's doing the same thing that one person did, except they're all doing it together. That's what makes the difference. That's what makes voting important. Yeah, one person. Of course. One person is, but we put everybody together. We all come together and we take a look at exactly what's going on today. And if you don't know, check the news. It's painful to see. It's painful to watch. It's painful to hear. But that's what I need you to do to motivate you and to understand exactly why we got to get out here and we got to vote. And I'm talking about now. We're not waiting for 2020. We're going to do it now. The Democrats are ready for us. The rest of the country is ready for us. And guess what? Your future generations, they're ready for you too. Because this can have lingering effects if he sits in that White House any more longer than he has to sit there. Okay? Please get out there and vote. Please get out there and vote. I want to thank y'all for listening and visiting People's Court. Again, this is Robert People of robertpeople.com. Feel free to follow me over at Instagram and Twitter at peoplescourt.com. I'm sorry, peoplescourt79. That is peoplescourt79, just like the show. Okay, 79 at the end of it. Okay, thank you all again for listening, and I will see you all next time.